For sure. Yeah, no, I mean, it's especially Pat at times, he's taking some big ones, and there's been a couple this year that I'm like, okay, is this it? And so, yeah, without a doubt, you got to be ready to go and be on your toes and stay locked in with the game plan and all those things. And so, it's been different for sure, but I control what I can't control and stay ready.
And in that respect, you feel like obviously this is one thing to play this Sunday, but how much will this help you be ready if you're needed in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it would be tremendous. Just getting reps. Obviously preseason, is helpful, but that was even limited, and seems like another lifetime ago already. Things just kind of the way it goes. But yeah, this will definitely be helpful if needed in whatever capacity in down the stretch there in the playoffs. But quite frankly, I'm just excited to get out there and play ball.
Earlier this week, Andy complimented you, and he essentially said you should be a starter in this league. Just mindset-wise, where are you in terms of that?
Yeah, I mean, I take it day by day. I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in my abilities, and what I've done in the past is in the past. What good, bad, indifferent. I'm so confident I can play and play at a high level, and so I'm looking forward to hopefully doing that this weekend and having fun while I'm at it.
Given you've had the full year to learn the offense, see how Andy thinks about things. He's mentioned you and Pat have obviously similar skill sets. Do you feel like there's something you're going to show on Sunday that you haven't shown before in this league, given where you are in your career, given the style of offense you will be operating?
It's a good question. It's kind of like, we'll see, I guess. I don't know. I'm still the same guy. I still play, but every offense does have its own nuances and kind of play styles, and, some move the pocket more and some do this more. And so, I've been in a couple different ones now, and so I'm excited to have Coach Reed calling it for me and kind of see what that's all about. And, we'll see, I guess, so to speak. But it does feel a lot of similarities to what I did, first coming into the league with Coach Peterson. And obviously it's evolved over the years from there, but it does feel like it fits my play style, and I'm excited for it.
We'll go to the back and then to Vahe.
Just as a competitor, what's it going to mean to you to kind of be able to get back on the field and just be out there in the live action?
Yeah, I'm excited, honestly. I might not show it right now, but I think I think last year and then this year again, just you learn to not take these opportunities for granted. You play and start for however many years it was for me, and then you go and sit on the couch for half the season, and then you kind of go back up last year, and I got one shot last year, and so for me it's just not taking these chances for granted and having fun with it. It's just not taking it for granted and having fun and cutting it loose.
Carson, as I understand it anyway, I mean, typically Patrick has a lot of feedback with Andy and Matt about what he likes in the game plan going into the game. Is that, I assume that's a conversation you've already had or are starting to have with them, and you'll get to state your preferences in some ways?
For sure, yeah. No, I think that's already begun, and I've seen it, with Pat doing it throughout the year, and so obviously when that comes time late in the week, once we've got the game plan and all the pieces put together, just kind of how we want to call it, how Coach wants to call it, how he's seeing it, how I'm seeing it. I think that's a really cool thing that he does here, and kind of really takes our opinions into play and lets us play fast.
Without asking you to give away anything, I mean, do you expect that's a pretty similar track to what Patrick states, or is it?
We'll see. We'll see. Honestly, it's early in the game plan still. It's first practice here, but I think Pat and I definitely like a lot of similar things, different preferences in certain moments and certain things. But I think it'll be some similarities for sure.
Last one, Nate.
Carson, I believe you were in the league when this happened, but are you aware of what happened in, I guess, the regular season finale with Andy Dalton getting the Bills into the playoffs? Their fans essentially creating a lot of charitable donations to Andy's foundation at the time. Yeah. Are you aware that you have, I guess, a role? Yeah. You might have some influence with maybe Colts fans, with Dolphins fans in that regard, and you got a charity set up in case things go a certain way?
Well, I've had a charity for about 10 years, so anybody can go donate it whenever they want to. We'll see what happens. But I wasn't sure where you were going with that question right away. But yes, I do recall that. That was funny to see. But without a doubt, we have Day One Foundation. Thanks for that free plug. So,
thanks, Carson.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Carson.
Good luck.
Hey, Chiefs fan, can you believe we've already locked in the top seed for the AFC? It's a good time to be a Kansas City fan, right? With that top spot secured, the Chiefs are taking it easy this weekend, resting starters against the Broncos. But here's the kicker: there's still one game this weekend that could have a huge impact on our road to the Super Bowl. Let's talk strategy for a second. Even though the Chiefs aren't playing for a playoff position anymore, the outcome of the Ravens game against the Browns could make things a whole lot easier or harder for us come playoff time. Quick question for you. Do you think every little detail matters, even when it's not our team on the field? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is where things get interesting. So, why should we care about what happens in Baltimore this Saturday? Let's dive into that in the next chapter. Alright, let's get into it. Here's the deal. The Ravens and Steelers are fighting for the No. 3 seed. In the AFC, if the Ravens beat the Browns on Saturday, they lock in that spot. But if they lose, the Steelers can swoop in and take it. Why does that matter to us as Chiefs fans? Simple. It's all about the path to the Super Bowl. If the Ravens get the No. 3 seed, they'll likely face the Bills in the divisional round, to powerhouse teams going head-to-head before one of them even gets a shot at us. Meanwhile, we'd be looking at a matchup against either the Texans or Steelers teams we've already beaten pretty comfortably this season. Now, let me ask you this. If you could choose, would you rather see the Chiefs face a tough team like the Ravens early or save that for later? Vote down in the comments. This playoff chessboard is all about positioning, and the outcome of this game could clear a much smoother path to the big stage at Arrowhead. But let's keep it real, there's still a lot that could happen. Ready to talk about how this all plays out for the Chiefs? Let's roll into that next. Now, let's talk about the ideal playoff scenario for the Chiefs. Picture this, the Ravens win on Saturday, and that means we get the Steelers or Texans in the divisional round. Sounds pretty great, right? Let me break it down for you. First, let's be real, the Ravens and Bills are the two teams that can truly challenge us in the AFC. The Ravens have had a solid season, and we saw just how dangerous they can be last year in the playoffs. The Bills, of course, are always a threat, but we've seen the Ravens come up big in big moments, and they've got a well-rounded squad. If they win the No. 3 seed, they'll likely face off against the Bills before we even have to think about them. That's one less heavy hitter on our radar. Now, think about this. If we face the Texans or Steelers, we're up against teams we've already dominated recently. We've beaten them comfortably, and while no playoff game is a guaranteed win, it's a much more favorable matchup. I know, some of you might be thinking, to be the best, you have to beat the best, and I get that. But hey, I'm all for stacking the odds in our favor. Wouldn't you rather see the Ravens and Bills take each other down first? What do you think? Should the Chiefs' path to the Super Bowl go through the Steelers and Texans? Let's talk about it in the comments. Here's where things get a little nerve-wracking, Chiefs fan. You'd think a Ravens win against the 3-13 Browns would be a given, right? Well, not so fast. The Ravens have tripped up against bad teams already this season, twice in fact. First, they lost to the 4-12 Las Vegas Raiders earlier in the year. And just a few months ago, they fell to wait for it, the Browns themselves. Yes, the very team they're facing this Saturday. In that October loss, the Browns, led by Jameis Winston, threw for over 300 yards and stunned the Ravens with a 29-20 victory. So, while a win might seem like a sure thing, it's far from guaranteed. Here's a wild thought for you. If the Ravens lose and the Bengals beat the Steelers, they could still secure the 3rd seed. It'd be pretty ironic, right? The Bengals helping us out only for the Chiefs to possibly knock them out next week. What's your prediction? Do you think the Ravens can pull it off, or is there room for another upset? Let me know in the comments. So, there you have it. Whether the Ravens win or lose, this weekend's game is crucial in setting up the Chiefs' path to the Super Bowl. It's all about positioning and stacking the odds in our favor. The best-case scenario, the Ravens win, setting up a tougher road for our biggest challengers while giving the Chiefs an easier path. What do you think, Chiefs fan? Should we be rooting for Baltimore this weekend, or do you have a different strategy in mind? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Chiefs updates.